So, you're at your local yard sale / used game store / eBay listing when you come upon a relic from your childhood, a copy of an old video game you loved. You used to waste away hours upon hours playing it, drawn in by the bright colors and catchy music. You're so caught up in your nostalgia trip that you don't even notice the salesman giving you far too much information about the previous owner until you've already given them the money. Oh well. You head home, boot up the game, and play for a bit until, uh-oh, your game's got ghosts in it. There's blood everywhere, and now some supernatural entities threatening you and your family. Now what? Hi, I'm Getty Images, and I'll be showing you how to avoid becoming the next white text on black background tale of woe. We've all been there, there's no shame in it, but proper resources on how to cope with a haunted video game are few and far between. Usually, you'll end up on either some scam site trying to sell you power crystals, or the SCP website. They might be able to help if you can't handle the haunting yourself, but only use them as a last resort. Before, if you wanted to get rid of a haunted or cursed video game, you would have to pass it on. This is the customary way of dealing with any sort of harmful supernatural force, but it doesn't truly get rid of it, just gives it to someone else. In this video, I'll be going over proper disposal methods so you can carry on gaming to your heart's content. Haunted video games come in 3 distinct flavors: ghosts, demons, and curses. A game under the influence of a curse is cursed, a game under the influence of a demon is possessed, and a game under the influence of a ghost is haunted. A video game under any sort of spooky influence can be referred to as haunted, though this is an umbrella term often used in published journals to increase accessibility. All cursed and possessed video games are haunted, but not all haunted video games are cursed or possessed. Going forward, I will be referring to influenced games by their specific terminology for clarity. Your new video game is for sure messed up in some kind of way, but it can be hard to tell what specifically is causing your issues. First, of course, I would recommend turning the console off and on again, and if you haven't done so already, delete the previous owner's save data. If this fixes the game, then your game was glitched. If nothing changes, you're dealing with a curse. If the game gets spookier, that's either a ghost or a demon. No matter the cause, any paranormal hazard left untreated will get worse and needs to be handled quickly. It's easy to confuse a haunted and possessed video game, which can lead to a demon leaking out of your game and making everything so much worse for you. The biggest difference between a ghost and a demon is that a ghost was once a person that was alive, whereas a demon is a creature from hell and has never been human, and never will be. The most noticeable difference lies in the personalities between the two, and while every ghost and demon is a unique snowflake, there are a few consistent traits that you can use to tell the two apart. Demons are petty,
your mother sucks cocks and hell, Paris, you faithless swine.
Very religious, and very, very aesthetic. Ghosts have separation anxiety, are prone to outdated references, and aren't aware of any outside progress beyond when they started haunting the video game. Pro tip: if a ghost asks about the ending of its favorite show, don't tell it. Especially if it's like Lost or Game of Thrones. Like, you know how regular fans get mad when they're disappointed about the ending of a show? Now imagine this thing can haunt you.
Attention video game users. If you or a loved one has played Pokemon Red, Blue, or Green recently and is currently suffering from depression, mood swings, large cock, and loss of appetite, you could have Lavender Town Syndrome, and may be eligible for financial compensation. Contact Rod Johnson of Johnson & Long Law Firm at 1-420-690-8008 for a free consultation. We can't keep letting big business get away with harming its consumers. Act now and call Rod Johnson at 1-420-690-8008 for more information and a free consultation.
Okay, so maybe your ghost or demon or curse is really getting on your nerves, and you want that thing gone. The game keeps threatening you, or you don't like the sounds of hyper-realistic bone crunching, whatever. Either way, the methods differ depending on what's afflicting your game, so be sure you know what's what. For curse removal, we'll be doing a modified version of the egg method. Instead of an egg, you'll need a Tamagotchi. It's easier to move a curse between similar objects, in this case both technology-type items, and the life cycle of a Tamagotchi creature within an egg-shaped casing represents many of the same things that an egg does. First things first, you want to hatch your Tamagotchi. Set up your console with the cursed game inside, and turn it on. Rub the Tamagotchi along the TV, then along the cords connecting the TV to the console, then finally rub it around the cartridge. If this is a disc-based game, open the disc holder without taking the Tamagotchi off the console, then move the Tamagotchi to rub the exposed disc. At this point, the Tamagotchi screen should turn red, which means the curse is fully transferred over and your game is safe to play again. Your Tamagotchi, however, is something of a volatile spectrohazard right now, so maybe deal with that before you get gaming. Bury your Tamagotchi at a crossroads, preferably a dirt crossroads so you're not burying it on someone's lawn or digging through asphalt, and leave using a different road than you came in on. When your Tamagotchi dies, the curse will be dispelled. I'd recommend not going back for it, as the Tamagotchi may now hold a grudge against you. But if you can deal with a fucked up and evil e-pet, then it's your call. Getting rid of a demon requires you to acquire a Catholic, if you're already Catholic, get another, this needs 2 people, rubbing alcohol, and Q-tips. The higher up the papal chain the better, but even a lapsed Catholic or a Protestant will do in a pinch. Have your Catholic bless the rubbing alcohol, then either apply it to an aspergillum, or pour the holy rubbing alcohol into a spray bottle. Next, spray the alcohol onto the shiny part of the disc, or the pins of the cartridge while your Catholic recites the Tete, numquam, relinquam, an unconventional but no less effective sort of demon repellent. Amoris sumus periti lege noscis necnon ego, Devotionem plenam intendo, Hanc non habebis ex ullo alio, Communicare volo Tibi quod sentio, Intelligendum Tibi est, Tete numquam relinquam, Tete numquam deseram. Tibi ero desultor non numquam, Faciam non flere te, nec dicam valere, mendax vulnerabo non numquam. If your cartridge or disc begins bleeding at the step, don't worry, it's normal. It doesn't have any diseases, and as a fun bonus, counts as virgin blood for any of your magical needs. Use the Q-tip to clean up the blood and spread the alcohol around. Repeat the last 6 lines of the incantation and the holy alcohol sprinkling until the game stops bleeding and a puff of sulphurous smoke seeps out. Clean up any remaining gore and insert your game into the console. It should be back to its original state, and you should be good to game. Ghosts are a unique scenario, as sometimes they can be reasoned with. If your ghost is recently deceased or exceptionally chill, you can just ask it to leave or at least lay off the scary until you get your nostalgia fill. However, this could just as easily make the haunting worse, as your ghost may be a bit of a weenie. If this happens, your next step is to find the Ghostbusters game that was released on the same console as your haunted game. Play the Ghostbusters game for a few minutes, then quickly take that game out and replace it with the haunted one while the console is still on. This works particularly well in consoles with RAM that carries over between 2 games like the PlayStation 1, but just the fast switch between the games should make the vibes inhospitable for ghosts, no matter the technology. This also seems to work better if the Ghostbusters game in question sucks ass, so if you have options, go for the worse one. Once you switched games, the ghost will screech and scream and there will be a few sparks, but once that all settles down, you'll be good to game. If you've tried these steps and your game is still haunted, then that means it's time to bust out the banishing crystal. And maybe a vacuum. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helps, or at least gets you pointed in the right direction for how to deal with your current spookliness. Have a nice day.